Hello and good evening, everyone, and welcome to another exciting episode of the Business of Property. I'm your host, Cheryl Leong. Thank you so much for joining us this evening. I hope we're all doing well. It seems like most of us are in lockdown, so hopefully you're not doing too much tonight and you're actually tuning in. Well, I welcome our special guest, Butina Richardson from Build Socialcon, and we'll be talking about marketing and building your brand in the property and construction industry and also the building industry. Um, so Build Socialcon is a marketing consultancy agency that was developed to help construction and property businesses grow through marketing. So I'd love to welcome our guest, Butina. How are you?
Hi, Cheryl. Thanks for having me. I'm good, thank you.
Fantastic. I hope you've been well. Butina, so tell us a little bit more about what Build Social Con does.
Yeah, perfect. So, I'll tell you a bit more about me first and how it actually happened. Because it wasn't fully planned. So my background is business and event management, so not essentially in that marketing space. I moved to Canada about 10, 11 years ago and started to study digital marketing and social media. And when I was working in the event space, I could see how important the social media space was as well. So combining the two of them together. I moved to Australia shortly after, so I'm here about 7 years now, and decided to do something different. So I started working in construction, so working on the ground, doing random jobs that I probably would have never done before. But it gave me this massive exposure to this brand new environment, which was really something hugely different for me, but really, really cool as well to just step outside and do something completely different. Um, when I was there, so I was probably more in like that civil space, so a lot of machinery, bulk artworks. I was working for a tier one company at the time as well. So I had high exposure to high caliber projects all across Melbourne. So it was it was great to see the standard that was there as well. My partner, he had a construction business. So when setting that up, he needed a company name, a company logo. He needed advice on social media. So I started to help him. So from here, we just literally created the name, the logo, the branding. And then slowly but surely, I started to do people that were in his network. So different emerging businesses, new businesses, rebrands. So we were doing social media, we were doing name creation, logo design, branding, and document creation. And this was while I was working in construction as well. So everything was happening hand in hand. All of a sudden, COVID hit, and I decided this was the perfect time. So we stepped out and then made it into a real, genuine business. And now we kind of focus on a lot more. So we do still do the logo design, we do graphic design, a lot of document creation. So a lot of capability statements, rate cards, different brochures as well, marketing strategies, and social media ad campaigns. So to help people on social media to reach a brand new audience. So right now we work with construction companies all across Australia. Some people that we haven't actually even got to physically meet face to face yet, but we're able to manage their socials for them here in Melbourne, which is working really, really well. And we work with many different vendors and down in Melbourne as well. So we actually work with Build Images, who was on here a few weeks ago. So
Yes.
he does a lot of our videography and photography as well. So we keep a really high standards of what we do. And it's been a little success so far.
That's fantastic. And Butina, like how different is marketing for sort of the construction and building industry to probably marketing for uh, another service type business?
Yeah, so the events industry in Canada was how colorful, it was busy, and it was very enthusiastic. Marketing for the construction industry, because I think it's like sometimes people almost look to a leader and think if they're doing it, I can do it. So there is one company, I'm not sure if you've heard of them, they're called Turner Mining, Turner. They're based in America. So they were probably one of the first construction businesses that really stepped out of the comfort zone of the traditional, what we kind of see construction as.
Mm.
They're a mining company, and they led the way. So they were so authentic. Their content and captions were very genuine. It was based on real day-to-day operations of the business, and genuine. It was very genuine content. If something went wrong, if they had to fire somebody, they were able to put up an explanation of like why this happened and how it happened and how to deal with things better. Their content themselves, so their images and their videos were just fantastic as well. So if anybody asks me now to name a construction company in America, they're genuinely the only company I could think of. So
And why is it
it's
so
huge.
different? I mean, like you said, I love the word that you said there. Just when you were doing other things, it was enthusiastic. And that's probably not a word that a lot of people will associate with construction. And I think that's why sort of looking at how construction and building has marketed itself before. One, probably it's not something that a lot of traditional builders and construction companies do very much, which is build, marketing. So two, why is it, I guess the question is like, um, what have you guys brought into this space to to help market? And what I'm trying to say is like, um, how have you found sort of bringing that level of creativity into an industry which is typically hasn't really been a very markety sort of industry? If you know what I mean?
Yeah, I think for a lot of my clients, they almost need to see that someone's done it before, and that kind of gives them the confidence that okay, there is a standard there, and it is okay to do. I know in Victoria in particular, construction is quite competitive, and at times people don't want to be showcasing their projects or their clients
Mm.
if it happens to uh, have a negative effect, and they're kind of opening up that space for their competitors to come into. Um, so it's been, I think, when everything is together. So I think combined when they get to see, look, this is a really cool logo. Like we can actually put your whole company into this logo. So when people see it, they genuinely
Mm.
understand
Mm.
what you do. And the logo and the branding, because for me they're so exciting, and it's I love getting to design a brand new logo, come up with a new name, and actually put in like everything that the company is about in there, and you get to tell a
Yes.
story as well. And I
Yep.
think when my clients get to see that and they see, okay, we are telling our story and it's a little bit different to what we're used to, but we can actually showcase the great things about our company to our, even if it is our competitors, to our clients, to potential people that will
Mm.
be working for us, to potential clients. It does get a bit exciting. And I notice even when Chris gets to go on site for us and he's doing new videos, like my clients are really excited sending them across and new photos. Oh, can we please use this photo? Can we get this one onto the website? So it is slowly evolving that people are people are very proud of their companies, but now they get to
Mm.
actually talk about it online as well. But it's definitely
Yeah.
changing, but there's definitely a long way to go as well. So it is super exciting.
Yeah. And when you say there's a long way to go, where do you sort of see the space in marketing for this industry?
So the majority of the work we do is document creation at the minute. So it's about getting
Mm.
the clients to have that brochure that they can leave behind in their client's office.
Mm.
It's almost a, I won't say tick the box tool of marketing, but it's almost a standard of you need to have your company profile and you need to have your capability
Mm.
statement. I see that moving into video. So I see people moving from the classic 12 page brochure or document and moving into being able to talk on video and actually tell people about their company, use drone
Mm.
videos, have videos going around the site, going around the house, and genuinely showcasing their work. So this is what we've done before. It'll be shorter. It's a lot more interactive. It's very exciting and can be very enthusiastic as well. And I think that
Mm.
video marketing is going to be massive for the construction industry. You can see it in like Instagram reels. You can see it with TikTok. And I think it's just about making it professional, and almost setting that standard again of going, this is now okay to do.
Yeah, and as you know, we have a lot of developers in our community, and I know that you guys work a lot with construction and building. But anyone that's listening, I want, and you've got, if you are a budding developer or you are growing a development brand, like a lot of what Butina is talking about is really relevant. I love how you're talking about in terms of even coming up with a logo, but how it embodies the brand. We see a lot of developers going, I'm just going to come up with a brand and a name, and I'll just get a sort of a cheap logo off wherever. But if you've got to be able to look at it long term, and I said the things that Bettina's talking about in terms of let's change things up a bit. Let's create videos. I mean, everyone's attention span is sort of so much shortened these days, and leaving a 12-page capability statement, I'm like, I almost feel it's a bit of a waste at times, because who really reads through it? All right. So I love that you and Chris have that collaboration where you're really bringing a lot of that emotive side of a business which has predominantly been known as fairly sort of rough and tumble, and bringing some heart and emotion into it, which is what the videos are about.
Yeah, 100%. Yeah. And you can see that there are like on TikTok, for example, you can see people in my industry where in that more civil space where they are using their machinery a lot.
Mm,
Um,
mm,
and you can see the popularity the whole way across TikTok, and especially in Australia as well. I about 2.5 years ago, I set up a business in the UK to buy property. And one of the ways to get into the property market in the UK was through social media. So
mm,
I knew I was going over in February, and in about October, I set up a LinkedIn page and an Instagram page, and I just started growing it. So at this time, I had no properties. I had never been to the parts of the UK that I bought in and that I was in. And I hadn't met my sourcing agent yet either. So I had created this profile online, and from that, I gained, oddly enough, trust and credibility. And
mm,
that led to me being able to purchase properties. It led to me being able to open up conversation with the banks, and it led to having those professional conversations with my sourcing agent, with the real estate agent, just from two social media accounts. And I hadn't met them face to face either. So I
yeah,
think,
that's actually a really important point, because I had a conversation with a developer today, and they're like, Cheryl, what sort of social media marketing should I do? And exactly what I said, it's just like, just get yourself out there, and have your profile. I love that you've done that and from scratch, and then you were able to build that credibility and trust, because it's incredible that so many people look to social media to suss people out. So
yeah,
what yeah, sorry, Bettina, what have you found are the social media channels, like you mentioned TikTok? What are the channels that you've found really, really good?
yeah. So I've got I'll go through, I guess, more traditional channels. So we've got a LinkedIn, which
Hmm.
every, I think, person individually needs to be on, and every business needs to be on as well. So actually setting up a professional company page. So for LinkedIn, 90% of the top construction companies in Australia use LinkedIn,
Mm,
which is a massive statistic. So if you can post and get your brand on there, you've got your network, your target audience ready to watch, ready to connect with, ready to engage. LinkedIn at the minute is probably a little bit behind the likes of Facebook and Instagram in terms of social media advertising, but in a really good way. So it's a massive space that you can actually jump into right now. And when you're using online advertising and you're paying for advertising, the results are just huge. So LinkedIn itself is a little bit slower at monitoring and, I guess, at monetizing it their side. So there is
mm,
massive exposure for companies to jump onto LinkedIn now. they released, I think maybe 6 months ago, stories. So similar to Facebook and Instagram stories, which are really popular. So it's a great place to add pictures, to ask questions, and to give people an update of what your company is doing or of what you're doing as well, especially if you're attending construction events or you're at a new property. It's a great place to actually pop up a picture and encourage engagement. So I definitely, it's one to look for on LinkedIn. And Facebook, everybody knows Facebook. It's the biggest social media site in the world. But recently there has been a lot of changes to it, with algorithms and the way companies need to spend their money. At the start, Facebook was set up as a social networking site, so for people to connect and chat. And when they saw the likes of Nike, Coca-Cola, Adidas were jumping on there and being able to promote their brands for free, they started to turn it then. So that's how it started to turn into, it's an actual business. And if you can work with Facebook and you can work with the algorithms and you can stay up to date with their algorithms, you've literally got the biggest audience to grow in. And I think everyone knows Facebook as well. So it's definitely, it's one, I don't put all my clients onto Facebook, but it is the most popular site. The reason I don't is the advertising side, so the advertising spend. So my clients that get the most out of Facebook will be more in that real estate space or the labor hire space as well. So that recruitment space in construction. So the posting for jobs, especially now because there's not a lot of new talent coming to Australia. Facebook has been huge for that. So for that side of it, it's been brilliant. I've put Instagram with Facebook as well because Facebook owns Instagram and similar with the algorithm. But Instagram is probably the best for organic. So if you've got a property business and you know exactly who you want to target, you know your exact target audience, you can engage with them every single day. You can engage with the exact person that you want through stories, through comments. So Instagram is only getting bigger and bigger. And when the likes of TikTok pops up or Snapchat and they've got new features, Instagram are straight away able to grab them. So stories happened on Instagram because Snapchat was so popular. Reels happened on Instagram because TikTok has been so popular. So it's continuously growing. So it doesn't matter what their competitors do, they're going to do it the same or they're going to do it better. It's obviously a very visual platform. So my advice is quality images, quality videos, reels, and constant engagement. So engage with the audience that you want, engage with your target audience. Again, it's the algorithms with Instagram as well. So they're constantly changing and something that you need to stay up to date with. If Instagram, for whatever reason, thinks something's working, they can quickly change it. It's a business to them, so they need to make the most out of it as well. One of my favorite ones, and it's probably not a massive one in the construction side, but more in the property real estate, is Twitter. So it's real-time conversations. If you're at events, if you're on the road, I see it a lot in New South Wales for buyers agents as well. It's working really well. It's almost a form of microblogging. I used it recently to chat to LinkedIn. So I had an issue with LinkedIn with one of my company pages, and there was something down.
Wow.
And within an hour, LinkedIn had got back to me. So those real-time conversations are just fantastic. And I think when everything opens back up again and we are in that event space and we are at auctions, the Twitter is going to be huge.
Yeah, and so in terms of like paid marketing, is that much there and much of a focus? What sort of paid advertising works?
It depends what platform you're going with. So I've got a few more social media platforms here that I can quickly run through, and then I can go through which ones. So those three, sorry, so Twitter, Instagram, Facebook and LinkedIn, sorry, those four are probably the most popular, the ones that we hear the most about. For me, there's so many different social media platforms out there. So I always sit down with my clients first, and then we decide which ones they're going to go on once we know their strategy. To be on all of them would just be it would be a full-time job for me and for the clients. So we definitely just try and focus on 2 or 3. So the next one is YouTube. So it's obviously no secret that video is on the rise as well. YouTube is the second largest social media platform, but it's also the second largest search engine after Google. So if you can get your videos, your property videos, your recent development or your drone videos onto YouTube, and you're clever with your SEO and it works with your website as well, it's free and it's a fantastic place to have your content. You can also, after I think it's 100,000 subscribers, YouTube can start making you money. So there's a lot of smaller businesses that started out on YouTube that now do how-to videos or DIY videos. So how to drive a machine, DIY your bathroom, and those type of videos, because they're so engaging and relevant, they tend to draw in a big crowd. And for your advertising as well, those videos make money. So it's a great way to go for another source of income, I guess, for your business. The next one is my favorite. So this is my favorite social media network out there. It's Pinterest, and it's probably one of the ones that doesn't get used enough. Most of my girlfriends have Pinterest on their phone, but we don't follow each other or engage with each other on Pinterest. It's more of a secret board that we have. Whereas we all follow each other on Facebook, Instagram, and Twitter. But Pinterest, if you've got aesthetically pleasing pictures, which most in the civil space and in the property space do, this is definitely the place that you can grow. For SEO as well, it's absolutely huge. You can follow people easy, you can like easy. It's probably a little bit behind LinkedIn in the way that they're not actually monetizing it as much as they should. You can send people back to your website, so your URL links as well. But Pinterest is the most SEO friendly social media platform out there. And I would advise any property business, anyone that's into exterior or exterior designs, this is definitely the place to be showcasing your products and your projects as well.
So I remember there used to be an app, House.
Yeah, that's my next one. Yeah.
So excellent. So I was gonna, because I haven't used it I haven't looked at it, but I used to love it when I was looking at properties and decorating and all sorts of renovation ideas.
Yeah, so it's for creative construction, architecture, design. The interior, the exterior. It is similar enough to Pinterest, where it's just like content heaven when you want to see what you want, when you need those ideas, you need the inspiration. And the same if you've got those pictures and you've done those projects, get it up, because it's location based, so you can promote your businesses. So small plumbers, plasterers, interior designers, architects in your location in Melbourne, I've got their contact straight away, so I can contact them. It's really good for the forums as well, so the chatting and the blogging. So if anyone has a question, you can jump on, you're able to help, you're able to start that conversation, the engagement, and a really, really unique and different way of actually networking. But again, networking with your exact target audience. So you can meet your next client, and vice versa. Clients can be meeting other clients, competitors, subcontractors that can come in and work for them. A massive platform for property real estate to be on. And the last.
Oh, there's more.
Oh, sorry, go ahead. No, I've one more. It's TikTok. So it's probably slower for construction, but just before I logged on here, I was looking up the construction hashtag, and they've over 10.9 billion hashtags of construction. So it's hard to say that in the same sentence as it's slower moving in the construction space. I think because people are on Instagram already, that's why TikTok hasn't been as quick. You can make longer videos on TikTok. It's probably a bit more user friendly for video making. And I absolutely love it. They've got this new ad that they're actually starting to run now as well. So it's called Spark Ads. So basically allows you to piggyback off organic popular content. So if you've got an advert up, my business can sponsor that. And because your ad is so popular and you've got my target audience, I can just promote myself through that. So it's a really unique, it's a very, very different way of advertising. I haven't seen it before. And I think it's going to be huge as well. I believe it's just been trialed in the States at the minute. And hopefully it makes its way over to Australia.
Goodness me. So it just goes to show there's so many different platforms that you can build your brand and have your brand out there. But also importantly, um, don't spread yourself too thin unless you've got a Gary V sort of set up. most
Yeah.
people most people don't. Like you said, focus on say two or three main ones and
Yeah.
do it well. But the thing that keeps popping up as well is having high quality imagery and videos, because it seems like it's very much a visual type of thing where people sort of aspire to live in beautiful homes or create beautiful buildings, that sort of thing. Is that what the, I guess, the marketing generally is targeted towards, creating this element of this is what I aspire to?
Yeah, definitely. Like marketing is a perception. Really, it's how you want to be perceived and how you are showing yourself online. And similar enough to the logos where people can jump on and you can grab a logo in 10 minutes and now you've got a business set
Mm,
up. Uh, Having those quality images make such a difference. And I notice even when I'm online myself, like, and I'm scrolling through, my attention span would be the same as the average person. I scroll down and I double tap, and it has to be a great picture for me to stop and read the content and then actually engage and go on to the page.
mm,
If the content is blurry, if the content has fingers in the way of the camera, or sometimes even bad filters in the likes of Instagram, they just don't work. And it's
mm,
your brand, it's your business. I guess a quality image shows your quality work. Um, the same with like the quality logo shows your quality work as well, and it almost gains trust with people. You're showing people, your clients, your customers, that you're putting money into these. You're showing them that this is the standard that you're at as well. And it's a great way to kind of set that standard for yourself.
mm. So apart from, I mean, Bettina, talk us through the types of businesses that you work with. You mentioned construction, sort of like builders. Is there anyone else that we haven't covered that you do, that you work with?
Yeah, so I've been working with very random businesses in the construction space. So I work with labor hire and recruitment. I work with plant hire businesses. I work for civil construction, and more that bulk earthwork space as well. Then more on kind of, I guess, the property commercial and residential side, we work with a lot of plumbers, electricians, carpenters. I've noticed lately a lot of FRP companies, especially in Sydney. So that's Formwork, Rio, Concrete. So they're kind of one of the first guys on site after civil as well. And
Mm,
buyers agents. So I work with two buyers agents in New South Wales. And their content is more, their marketing is more paper marketing right now. But it's the two people I really, really want to push more into that online digital space. Um, Especially for buyers agents. I think things like podcasts, audio, which is getting just as big as video now as well. And just
mm.
instead of telling people, I guess, what you can do, it's showing them what you can do and bringing them on that journey with you. Social media can help gain a lot of trust as well. But we work with everyone across a broad spectrum in that construction space, and always happy to chat with different industries as well. Um, we don't judge. We want to help everyone.
Yeah, perfect. I love it. Tell us a little bit more. I know that we talked about an event, a construction event that's coming up in the next few months that you're part of the organizing committee for. Tell us a bit about Dig Deep.
Yeah, so Dig Deep event is happening in November. So Dig Deep event started off similar enough to Build Socialcon, something very, very small. So what my partner was actually hoping to do, he works in that civil construction space, and he wanted to get 10 different companies together and have like a small operator challenge, in the hope that we would bring in the industry together, raise a bit of money, have a good day out, and then donate to a worthy charity. I'd say maybe 2 weeks later, after having the chat, it just grew legs like any good story. And all of a sudden, we had a committee of 7 people. We were raising $1 million, and we decided that Beyond Blue would be the charity to receive the funds. So the goal of the event is to raise the awareness of mental health in construction, and across all platforms in construction, all industries, all contractors. The stats to date are just not in line with what we should be seeing in 2021, and it just does not make sense. So we've decided that if we can help raise this money for Beyond Blue at a really good, fun construction event, getting everyone together, and then Beyond Blue being able to reach those people that genuinely need it. So it's going to be a 1 day event. It's about 3.5 months away now. To date, we've raised 247,000, and that's been through sponsors, donations, and exhibitors. Yeah, and we're hoping then over obviously the next couple of months that we'll be able to get to the $1 million. So on the day, we're going to have an operator challenge, which will be run by William Adams Caterpillar. So it'll be, I think, maybe 10, 15 different operators. And then Caterpillar will set them different challenges. It'll be like a knockout and then a final at the very end. Some big companies in such as Volvo are going to be there, Solution Plant Hire, SEN Radio. We've got a couple of ambassadors as well that are going to help out with the event and understand the importance of why we're running it. It's a family-friendly event, so there will be a lot of food trucks there. We're going to have amusement rides for children. There's a small like digger park where kids can actually hop onto the machinery as well.
Oh,
There'll be music and a health and wellness space. So it's really just anyone and everyone that knows someone in construction, works in construction, that wants to come down, have a fun day out, and genuinely help raise awareness for a good cause.
And look at big toys in action.
Yes. So there will be one main target audience, I think. So yeah, big toys for big boys.
Yeah. I always we've been watching some construction happening at our property, and I see how the digger, like, it's just precariously tilted on something and a particular angle, and I'm just like, there's so much talent in just doing that. So I'm sure it'll be quite an event. So well done. So that's in Melbourne. Check out digdeepevent.org. It is in Melbourne, and hopefully it's going to go nationwide when borders all sort of open up. So this is going to be the first event of its kind, and said hopefully it will be across the different states very soon. Boutaina, I think a lot of what you've covered, again, as for the developers out there, it's, there's some real good nuggets there in thinking, how can I build my brand, just like a construction company, just like a building company, and is, if you want to be able to see how you can scale as well, reach out to Boutaina on buildsocialcon.com. Talk us through a little bit about you're going through some rebranding as well. What's that about?
Yes, so we're trying to do a bit of a rebrand ourselves. So this is probably one of the main things like that I love to do, and I love meeting new clients that want to rebrand as well. So when you look at our branding, you look at our coloring, our logo design, and why we chose it. At the start, from where I'd come from in that space, it was very much civil construction. That's what I worked in. That's what I knew. That's what I was surrounded myself with as well. And then obviously, as I was working in that property space myself and here in Australia, and I could see that's kind of the way our market was going, more into property development. We decided that it's probably the best idea to rebrand. Our colors, our logo our website, it doesn't shout out to property developers. Property and architect design, it's very slick, it's very classic, and it needs to be your logo. When you look at it from a property point of view, you've only got the 2 seconds. So what
Mm.
we have is we've gone with a big yellow orange color for the civil construction space. That is absolutely perfect, and that's what it shouts out to. And um, I've got a lot of my clients from Instagram alone because I've had machinery pictures up there, and my clients have said this is what we
Mm.
want. So what we're trying to do is work with both. So we're actually hoping to change more into that sort of architectural look, the property look, the classic black and white, very sleek, clean finish that allows us to then target a bigger target audience as well. So it is really important. Like coloring is so important
Mm.
for your logo, your branding. You got to remember as well, when you're designing your logo, it's not just for your Instagram page or your Facebook or your website. It's for everything to do with your company. So if you've got a work vehicle, you need to brand the side of it. Having that big yellow sticker on the side might not work best for you. But having that sleek black and white might work a lot better depending on the company and what you're trying to portray as well as your company values. So yeah, it's the whole way along. It's your PPE and the branding that goes outside of the property developments as well. So hoping by the end of the month we'll have our new branding ready to go. And it'll probably represent us a bit more as a company. Right now we're represented more in that civil space, which isn't just what we
Mhm.
do. So yeah, it allows us to grow as well.
A wider scope. So will you be keeping the name, or is it gonna we're gonna go for a name change as well?
No, definitely keeping the name. Yeah, so we'll be keeping the name, just changing the logo look, the feel, and giving people a better idea of what we do. So a new
Fantastic.
website as well. So I think we need some videos on our website. That's something that's been really, really popular. We need more of
Mhm.
our actual on-site pictures. So when we are working with property developers, those before and after pictures, the drone videos as well. Um, like I was saying earlier, let people see what we can do, not just tell them. Show
Mm.
them what we actually do. It's a
Mhm.
lot easier to sell ourselves that way as well.
Fantastic, exciting stuff, Bettina. Well, thank you so much for sharing with us, and I loved like just seeing just the varied platforms that people can use. But again, don't get too overwhelmed. It's about even just starting, like creating a brand. Speak to someone like Bettina who understands the space and understands what property is about to help you create a brand and a feel around who you are and what you're looking to achieve, and look at the different options that you have, whether it's Facebook, LinkedIn, or Instagram. If you want to start off with three platforms, start with those. But main thing is get yourself out there. So even as a developer, and you're looking to attract investors, like what you did was this have something to help create that level of trust and credibility, which is it's quite simple. Really, the more people see you, the more people feel that they know you, the conversations that you have with them are going to be there's going to be less resistance there.
Yeah, definitely. I totally agree. And I think a bigger space here, like in that angel investor space as well, having that trust,
Mm.
credibility, showing people the goals, the visuals, this is what we're doing. We've invested in this company ourselves. We've invested in our branding, our online. We're ready to go. We want you to come on that journey with us.
Yeah.
It's really good. It's a great way to start off as well if you are trying to reach out to investors, angel investors. Um,
Yes.
Banks and different property developers as well.
Absolutely. Thank you so much. Good luck with your rebranding, and we'd love to see
Thank
what
you.
it looks like. Please pop it on to the community. Obviously, you're part of that as well, and I know you're a keen investor yourself. So, again, if anyone's looking for some branding, for marketing, talk to someone that understands the space. I think it makes a whole lot of difference as well. So, thank you for joining us today, Bettina, and sharing your time. Exciting times ahead for you. Also, would love to get an update for when you have the Dig Deep event, how you're going with that as well. And if you would like community to support, also please pop it up in the Facebook group also.
Yeah, brilliant. Yeah, of course. And anyone that wants to
So
get
thank
involved
you,
with the event,
everyone.
yeah.
Awesome. I think there's a bit of a lag with me. Thank you so much, everyone, for joining us this evening. And we'll see you at the next episode of The Business of Property. If you want to see any particular guests or you want us to be talking about any particular topic, please send me a PM or drop some comments below on in this video. Would love to be talking to people around the building space. Wanted to talk about construction, construction build types, um, even some planners around what's involved in submitting a development application or planning permit. If you have a whole lot of knowledge that you want to share with the group, definitely drop me a PM. Would love to have you on board. So thank you very much for joining us, and we'll see you next time. Cheers. Bye bye.